What's up, YouTube? Checking back in with you, man. I want you to make a little quick video today. I'm gonna talk about closing today. I got a question and from Miss Smooth 84, and Miss Smooth wanted to know. She had asked me to talk about the closing process of my previous deals, and whether or not I used a title company or attorney. And the answer is I've always went through closing attorneys. I never used a title company yet, so I really just speak on the process of doing it, how I've done it through the closing attorney or attorneys that I've used. I'm sure eventually I use a title company, but I can't even speak on it right now because I haven't used one yet. But I always go through a closing attorney, and before I did my first deal, one of my biggest, I don't want to use the word fears, but I guess it fits. One of my biggest fears was like, what am I going to do when it's time to finish the deal and get a title attorney? Get a title company and go through attorney. I was so paranoid about that. I'm talking about it really worried me because like, man, how much am I going to have to pay this attorney, or is the buyer going to pay it, or who does what, who says what? Simple. Once you get to that part, man, that's the easiest part. That's like smooth sailing. Because once you get both agreements to your closing attorney, if you're working with a good one, they're going to do the rest of it for you, man. They're going to set up the closing times. Of course, they're going to do their title searches and all that stuff. And then what happens is they'll start being your mediator. They'll start calling the seller on your behalf. If they need anything, they'll call the seller for it, et cetera, et cetera, et cether. At least that's what mine does, Once I get him everything, that both documents, he just takes over. He'll start going back and forth with the seller, doing all the calls. So for me, it's a big relief because now there's just one less call that I got to worry about, and questions going to arise, situations going to come up, so they're going to have to talk to each other, probably before you get to the closing table. But that's what I use. I go through closing attorneys, and that's all my deals have been through closing attorneys. So once you get both documents, seller, buyer, once you got both documents, you go ahead and get it to the attorney, take it down there, fax it, email it, whatever you're doing. And like I said, they just pretty much take over from there. They'll set up a closing time. And as far as I think I skipped a big part of it too, so let me kind of backtrack a little bit. As far as finding an attorney, because that was one of my things too, like who do I go with? I'm new to this. I don't know nothing. So what you'll do is normally whoever you close that first deal with, especially if it's a local investor, which chances are, it's very big chances it will be with a local investor, whoever they been using or comfortable with, go with them. So they've done this dozens and dozens and probably hundreds of times in a lot of cases. So whoever they suggest, go ahead and rock with them. You know what I'm saying? Because typically they're going to pay for closing anyway. Typically, not always. My first deal, I split closing. But I was happy to get a deal. I didn't care. But whoever that buyer suggests, because probably 7-8 times out of 10, they're going to tell you, look, this is who I close with, because they do this so much. They got a attorney that they already know works for them, and it probably works good. So, follow their lead a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Follow their lead. And then if in a rare case they come back and say, well, they don't have nobody to close with, we'll just say that. Then that's where you come in at. You pick up the phone, you start calling, and you just ask these attorneys. So, tell them, hey, I'm an investor. Well, just, tell them I'm an investor. Mainly what I do is I flip houses. Don't tell them you're a wholesaler. Just say, hey, I flip houses. You know what I'm saying? Keep it simple. Is that something that you guys work with, or is that something you handle? They'll tell you yeah or no. You know what I'm saying? It'll be a real short, easy conversation. Well, however you want to word that conversation, but, you won't be that first call that they've got asked that question, and you won't be the last. So, yeah, but once it's time to close, man, as long as don't nobody back out on you, as long as you don't have no title issues, it's smooth selling. It's smooth selling. The closing is smooth selling. At least it's been for me thus far. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, once you get them paperwork to them, man, that's what they get paid to do. You know what I'm saying? That's what you paying them for, and they paralegal. That's part of it. Whoever paying for the closing, that's part of it. And your first deal, your first few deals, you may find yourself in a predicament as me, where you got a more seasoned investor who coming at you like, you gonna pay for closing or let's split closing. I ain't no split closing. You know what I'm saying? I wanted that deal, and he had used his closing attorney for so long. He had such a good rate with him. It wasn't much. I'll just tell you what I paid up front. I had to pay $250, but I didn't physically pay it out of my pocket. They just took it out my check. $250, and he paid the other $250. Came out like $554. I remember seeing on the HUD statement. So, but that's pretty much it, man. I said it's gonna be a quick video, so I want to get long-winded. But yeah, any other questions, man? I'm sure I didn't talk on something. I probably forgot something I want to say before I start the video. Holla at me, you know what I'm saying? Holla at me in comments, let's chop it up. Of course, do me a favor, man. Hit subscribe if you're watching. And even people that you've been talking to, your friends, your relatives, your investment partners, if y'all just like me, going from the ground up, refer them to my page, man. You know what I'm saying? We can all help each other out, It's all teamwork, Trust me, this real estate what it's going to be. It's all teamwork. But let me get out of here. Y'all be good.